Raise your hand if you've ever sent an email. I'm hoping most of you do. Great. How did you learn to do it? Did you take a class online or look up a YouTube tutorial? Did you just learn on the fly on your job? Personally, I took a computer literacy class in middle school. In this class, we learned how to create an email address, how to write a professional and polite email, and how to send it to someone halfway across the world. We didn't focus as much on how computer hardware works, or on how the internet enables us to send these messages across hundreds of thousands of miles with the click of a button. Instead, I learned how to type efficiently with both of my hands, how to find information on the internet, and how to know when my computer wasn't working correctly. As modern technology develops, we pick up new skills so that we can continue to engage with the world and with each other. I learned to walk so that I could run, and I learned how to write professional emails so that I could reach out to the advisor who would go on to work with me for my PhD. In the past, these skills have been referred to as digital literacy or computer literacy, depending on the skills that you're looking to develop. And in the present, the continuing education of these skills allow us to continue to engage with the world, from finding a job to ordering takeout on a Friday night, to finding the answer to life's questions on a Google search. Or it should. See, there's a new form of technology that I think many of us are very familiar with that has been increasingly integrating itself into our daily lives. It's called artificial intelligence, and most of us don't know how it works. Now, I am far from the first person to give a TED talk on artificial intelligence, as you can see. Many of these talks have focused on how AI may save us or how it may destroy our societies, but most of them have not focused on how it will impact us as individuals on a daily basis. As a science communicator, I'm interested in helping people understand the world around them. And as a PhD student, I'm particularly interested in helping people understand the algorithms that they interact with on a day-to-day basis. Not at the level of code, but at the level of human algorithm interaction. Based on my experiences, as well as insights from others in my field, I believe that we are at the forefront of a new type of technological literacy, AI literacy. But what does it mean to be literate in AI? By my definition, it's the knowledge that a person accumulates in order to be able to confidently understand and interact with AI-based systems. Just like how in computer literacy, we don't necessarily focus on just like in computer literacy, how we don't necessarily focus on understanding the specifics of the hardware, in AI literacy, we're not necessarily concerned with the specifics of the code. Instead, we're interested in understanding how these algorithms affect our daily lives and how we could use them for our own benefits. And what AI literacy is may depend on who you are. For the average person, it might be having a general understanding of popular algorithms. It might be knowing the difference between machine learning, artificial intelligence, and an algorithm. And it might be understanding AI hype versus reality. For policymakers, it may be all of the things that the average person would like to know. And on top of that, it might be understanding how to create policies that can regulate these algorithms. And people who develop AI should consider AI literacy as well, especially as it comes to fairness and ethics. As we know, just because you can develop an algorithm doesn't mean you should. And what it absolutely means is that you should take care to consider how the system will affect the people both within your community and outside it. Now, it's easy for me to stand on the stage and tell you that AI literacy is really important, but it's a lot harder to go out into the real world and learn it yourself. Because of that, I'd like to leave you with some examples of how AI literacy might be useful to you and some resources that you might use to continue your education after this talk. I know that you guys all know how to send an email, which is great, but Twitter is the new email, so let's talk about social media. One of the main complaints that people have about social media is that the way that content is shown to you is not based reverse chronologically. Instead, it's based on what an AI algorithm thinks you'd be most likely to click on or react to. Personally, I find that this means that I miss content that my friends or family are posting because an algorithm has decided that there's something else I should be shown instead. Now, one interpretation of AI literacy might be to understand exactly how this algorithm is working and game the system in a sense. But another interpretation might be to know that in many of these social media platforms, there's a setting that you can go to turn off the AI sorting and go back to reverse chronological sorting, which is what you wanted in the first place. To improve your AI literacy after this talk, you might use your computer literacy to find many of the resources available online. From AI and ethics curriculum for middle schoolers, to YouTube channels, to weekly newsletters that help you understand how new AI developments will impact you and the world around you. There are many, many resources for you to look at in order to educate yourself on how these systems actually work. AI literacy is only going to become more important in the coming years. We've seen impressive advancements in artificial intelligence as it applies to specific problems in finance and medicine and economics and many other industries. Some of us are going to have to learn new skills so that we can find new employment because of AI. And some of us are going to have to learn to work alongside AI in our new roles. Some of us are going to have to make sure that we do not impart our own biases onto the AI systems that we develop. And all of us will need AI literacy to do it. Thank you.